Well, of course, we talked about the coronavirus itself, which is a huge topic going on around the world, pandemic, which makes sense for us to maybe make a premiere for that. Why we can't ignore it, it's there, and it's concerning a lot of people, obviously.
Uh-huh.
I was just reading today, in fact, Teresa, briefly, I want to touch upon the positives, of course, but
Yeah.
also talk about how it's affected everybody in our group to get reacquainted again. Because, we've been apart for a while and we're all going through different situations, right?
Right.
Some people are alone, and most of you have family, some of you live with some. Do you have a family you're living with right now, or are you kind of
Yeah.
by yourself?
Yeah, yeah. I've got family.
Well, you're living good, so there are other people in your household. But in some cases, that's not true, and a lot of people are really feeling the effects. They got stuck that way, apart from relatives. So now I'm going to talk about how it's affecting each individual without giving away too much, perhaps, and people we know. Like yesterday, a lady, Mother's Day was so different for a lot of people. A lady I know, her mother's in an assisted living facility, and they were allowed to visit, but outside, 6 feet apart in chairs.
Right.
But they were allowed to visit. But that's tough, And
Mm-hmm.
then another friend of mine, who I did the video chat with yesterday, she had to only, it was her grandson's birthday on top of that, his 9th birthday. They live in Concord, and they're in Stockton, she and her husband.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to use Skype to get together, and they did
Yeah.
little games. But that was different. I mean, they felt that they missed the hugs and the warmth and the gift giving, the actual personal interaction just isn't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a bit depressed, but they didn't get together that way, but they have pictures. But it's still not the same thing, Teresa. And I know people who are stuck alone, who are seniors, for instance, who are just unable to go to the senior centers.
Right.
All of that stopped for them, and it's not emotionally or mentally healthy. Marilyn will love this because she likes, she likes the time, and she's good at it.
Right.
So absolutely, we can all relate, but we're not the experts on that area, and I'm not. But we do know it's not good. We do know it's a proven fact, from what I've read anyway, from other experts, that if you don't interact, too much isolation can cause the immune system to suppress it.
Oh yeah.
You really, all these negative chemicals seep into the bloodstream. It can make you more susceptible to illness in general.
Yeah, we need to interact as humans, and
yeah.
it's very important. That's why we always, we're social, and
Yeah.
it's healthy. It's very healthy to do that. And so now all this coronavirus is preventing people from getting closer. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, 6 feet, 6 feet," or and then you're talking and you have a mask on and you can't hear the other person and you're going, "What? What?"
You can't even tell who anybody is anymore, Teresa. It's funny in a way, but sad too.
Sad too.
A friend of mine, I see people I should know in places of business, and I say, and she has to identify herself. Oh, that's you.
Uh-huh.
But you don't know who anybody is. You're just a pair of eyes now and
Right.
part of a nose. Right.
Right. I know someone who has this mask and has a huge smile on it, and every time I see her, I start laughing because it's yeah, that you can actually get these masks with a face on it with and so every time I see her, I just have to laugh, and we both laugh. She knows why I'm laughing. It's just so add a little humor to it, have a little fun with it, because it's all we got. Yeah, it's all we have. So, oh my gosh, yeah, it's.
One thing I wanted to mention to you, Teresa, because I know you have a lot of faith and you're very much into this kind of thing too, which I appreciate. The minute of silence, and we can possibly mention that a lady wanted to revive in Stockton. Her name was Vicki. I know we won't give her name. I'll get permission on the air. Vicki Taylor. Goes to Crowley Baptist Church, and she just shared this. This went on during World War II. It originated over there during the Blitz when they were being bombed, by the Germans. And a man over there, and I'll get his name, it's written down, but we won't share that today. But the Minute of Silence was instigated over in England, by Major Wellesley Tudor Pole. And it became quite a popular thing that at 9 p.m., with the approval of Winston Churchill, Prime Minister at that time, that they would chime the bells of Big Ben. And everybody would bow their heads and have that minute of silence to reflect on the war efforts, and of course those who had died, possibly, and to pray for peace. Well, Queen Elizabeth II mentioned not that specifically, but it came up again during one of her speeches about meditating, the moment of
Right.
meditation. And she's about 93, 94 years old. She's done remarkable speeches. But a friend of mine had already mentioned this, and I traced it back to England, and she had also done that. That goes back to World War II. It was revived, Teresa, during the kind of petered out. And then it was revived during after the September 11th, those terrible terrorist attacks in this country. And around the world that was going on. So again, it became revived, but it kind of didn't take off as well. And then 2015, a grassroots effort here in the United States wanted to do it, to get people to think more about prayer and the importance of God in their lives. So a lady wanted to definitely begin doing it about 2 months ago when this first happened. At 6 p.m. out here, and across the country is, about 3 hours different. And have it met at 6 o'clock in California. And across the country, we hope it'll take off. It'll be 3 hours difference. It's 9 o'clock back east. And then pause for that 1 minute of reflection. So if we're going to talk about that, we won't make it long. But I mean, it's just a nice thing to do, to think about the coronavirus victims and pray for a cure.
Yeah, so many people have died from that too.
Yeah. It's awful, Teresa. And even the White House now, we know, and now the latest.
Yes.
By that day, we don't know what we'll be talking about by next Tuesday. But as of today, they're wearing masks, and they're starting to. Dr. Fauci is self-isolating or partially doing that now because they came in contact with, the
somebody.
PR.
Right, there was somebody in the White House with it.
PR person for the vice
scary.
President.
Very scary.
Yeah, and I found out, which is also interesting, that out in Florida, where this will be broadcast, you say live, we'll be able to hear it out there.
Uh-huh.
This was in the Tampa Times. It happened to come up when I checked my emails and the news came up, that they have the lowest rate of coronavirus, Teresa, in Florida, and they don't know why. Although low, I'm saying low, there have been 40,000 confirmed coronavirus cases. And there was 1,700 deaths, but that is low
in comparison.
Is compared to across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know what it could be. They don't know if it's because the older people live there, seniors and things like that, or they were against social distancing long before the governor gave the order. And they also think there might be something about the humidity and the heat out there, but they don't know. So this is kind of interesting to bring that up because also in the Tampa Times, and it got picked up by CNN this morning, there's a study going on about Florida and why, though that's pretty tragic, statistics even for them, why is that state where this show is,
right,
why is it the only one in the country that is really been doing well, even though those are grim facts? And what is it about the state that's making it different? That they do fear a wave of deaths and more of a second wave coming through when the restaurants start to open out there. But basically, there's been a lot of social distancing that began in Florida long before the governor gave the order. They really don't know. It could be the climate.
But then they say that in the summer that it'll be less likely that people, will be affected by the coronavirus.
It's possible that's something that they're looking into. If this is true about that state, then
right.
It's possible to hope for the rest of us. But then again, we don't know. So I asked Mary Bullard to come on briefly.
The nurse.
She's RN she wants to be called.
RN, yes.
Mary Bullard, RN, that's the difference. She's going to call in that day.
Oh, good. Okay.
I gave her the number.
Mm-hmm.
And give a few health tips as an expert, because she won the Susan B. Anthony Award for one thing. She'd be great to have on about that along sometime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as a segue, before we get into that, just have somebody, a medical expert, do that, because she worked for years, Teresa.
Yeah.
And she knows the safe ways to wear a mask. There I am in the car with her, and I'm starting to pull it down in the front,
Right, your nose.
No, don't do that, you get those bears back into your face. I didn't think about that. No, I just pull it right, and I yank it down, and I'm like, oh no, she couldn't stand it. I just do everything just to pull it over my nose and have the mask on, right?
Right.
We don't think, a lot of people aren't thinking about that. No, the germs in your hand, she said,
gel.
All these people exercise. So I got lectured all the way down the street.
You need gel, lots of gel.